Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of Delectable Collectibles, the collectible show where we show you the most delectable of collectibles. I'm your host for today, Mike Eckleberry. Today we are in Van Nuys, California, checking out Galaxy of Comics. Let's go inside and check it out. What's up everyone? We're inside now here at the Galaxy of Comics. First, before we get into the collectibles here, we have, sir?
My name is Warren J. Cox. I'm with Galaxy. I'm the owner of Galaxy of Comics.
Okay, how long have you been here at this establishment?
We've been here in Van Nuys for almost 10 years. We've been open since February of 2019, so obviously our 10th anniversary is February of 2019.
Nice.
And we are kind of an average comic book store. We carry just about everything. We don't do any gaming, but other than that, comics, graphic novels, T-shirts, toys, you know, anything you can think of. We've even got some video games back there. So
nice, a little bit of everything, a little bit of everyone's interest. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Now this first item we have here, before we dissect it, we get into the dissecting. For all the viewers out there who don't know what they're looking at, can you tell us what this is?
Yes, well, this is the Diamond Select. I think it's called a Premier Collection. Thanos statue.
Okay.
He's really cool.
Nice.
If you watch the third Avengers movie.
Of course, he's the big focal point. Of course.
Yep.
Now, this item, I was carrying it a little early. It's very heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
really, really heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with the monumental success of the movie Infinity War, I would have to assume Thanos has become maybe a little bit more popular since then?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. He's really exploded. It's, you know, toys, statues, just everything. Yeah, absolutely.
So now going back to the heavy part, I see it's also very, very detailed. I'm guessing it takes a long time to make something like this, or at least a while.
Yeah.
How much would something like this run for?
They are hand painted. This one is just $150. This company has a real tendency to try to keep its price down, even though its quality is really, really nice, really great.
Okay.
So yeah, real affordable.
All right, so we went over that a little bit. We're going to stick on the Marvel side of things. The next item we have to show everyone back wherever the hell they're watching from.
Is this?
Oh, excellent. Yeah. I'll just move this over just a little bit so we can see what this is. Okay, wow. Okay, we have an X-Men comic. Very cool. Can you let us know what this is?
Yeah, this is the first part of the Days of Future Past storyline. They also based a movie on.
Nice,
so,
nice.
This one's a little significant because, of course, it's of course graded, which is obvious. But it's also it's what's called what CGC calls their signature series, which means one of the people that was involved with the creation of the comic, whether the writer or the artist, has actually signed the book, and then they actually slab it and grade it in the whole 9 yards.
That is that is awesome. So I see a signature on here. Whose signature is that?
That is Chris Claremont. He was the writer of the book. In the signature series of the CGC part, it will actually tell you who it is, when it was signed. So yeah. It's only a 7.0, it's out of a 10 grade. But still a really cool book, and the fact that it's signed, I think, makes it way, way cooler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I agree. Now I see there's a 7.0 on here. It's at a 10, I presume. 10, yeah. So this I would say not as uncommon as others.
Yeah. In fact, actually, probably 7/8 for something this age is probably pretty typical. I mean, you obviously you can find the 9.6s and the 9.8s, but yeah, this is pretty common. Yeah.
Did they make a lot of copies of this, or was this a very standard issue at the time, or is it?
I mean, it was a kind of a standard thing. Here's the thing, this is from 1981.
Okay.
And right around the late 70s, early 80s is really where X-Men really took off. The X-Men was an older team that was created by Stan and Jack, and it never quite took off. The X-Men were was a strange book back in the day. It really fell to two or three specific people. Len Wein, Chris Claremont, and a couple of the artists. John Byrne is one of them. There's a number of them that really made this particular run very distinctive. Again, starting in the late 70s. And so this is one of those items that is kind of special because it's part of the future Days of Future Past series, and is really, really a great storyline.
Awesome. All right, so tell me now, Warren, how did you get your hands on an item like this?
We buy collections all the time. I don't think there's too many stores in the Valley that actually do. We still do. We actively buy comics. We don't typically buy many collections of CGC comics, but this was one of them. We purchased it from a gentleman who was selling all of his collectibles. And,
okay, sweet deal.
Yeah, this was a really cool. This was one of the ones that I really wanted to get my hands on. Yeah.
I bet. Now, with the signature and everything, and it looks like it's in great condition. How much does this run for?
I think we were asking $125, I believe.
Okay.
So it's honestly most especially when it comes to graded comics, most retailers pretty much to go to what has previously sold on something like an eBay or something like that.
That is very cool. Thank you, Warren, for sharing us these collectibles here. Now that we've seen a couple items on the Marvel side of things, we're going to make the transition to DC.
Okay.
So what's the first DC item you have to show us here?
Well, we have Vengeance of Bane. This is actually the first appearance of Bane. So if you've seen the third Christopher Nolan Batman movie, this is the villain for that. This is a 9.4 a graded comic.
So I'm assuming this is more of a valuable of a comic book?
To a certain extent. I mean, it depends. That totally depends on whether or not it's a first appearance or what have you. This one's a little more of a recent comic than the X-Men. So it wouldn't be quite as valuable, even though it is a first appearance. And that's just mainly because of the nature of the character. Yeah.
Now, we have a signature on here of a Chuck Dixon.
Yeah.
Is it? So I see it's. Is this actually on the comic itself?
This is not. It's actually on the plastic, which kind of makes it weird and unusual. But
yeah,
because I don't know too many instances like this. But yeah, what it looks like is that they got it graded, and then who knows what it was? 6 months, 8 months, 10 months later, they found out, oh, Chuck Dixon will be at whatever con, and got it signed. And I guess they didn't want to break open the actual graded plastic to get it signed, so they just figured, hey, let's sign it on the plastic.
Oh, interesting story.
So it's unusual, but it's kind of cool. It doesn't really take away or add to the value at all, but it's kind of a fun item.
It's a unique little history to it.
Yeah.
All right. How did you get your hands on an item like this?
Well, I think it was similar to the other X-Men comic. I think we got it as part of a collection. We don't typically deal with CGC and graded books. But if somebody comes in with and I think that's what the case was here. They had comics. They also had graded comics, and we wanted to buy. So it was one of those things where I think that's how we got it.
Excellent. And how much does this run for, a comic like this?
The first appearance of Bane I think goes for about $40 or $50. But with grading and all of that, I think we're asking $100. We're not charging for the kind of unauthorized signature. But it's a cool item. It's a really cool item.
I agree. I agree. And this is the fact that it has Bane on the cover. Almost the image of him manhandling someone. I've always thought he was such a badass character.
Yeah. Very intellectual badass, but very much a badass. Yeah.
Very awesome. Now we've gone over the comic aspect of DC Comics. Now, what is the next item you had to show us?
Sure. So this is the Harley and Joker DC Bombshells statue.
Okay.
This is from DC Direct, which is a totally different company from the Diamond Select. It's just kind of really cool.
Wow. Now I am looking at this, very similar to the Thanos. It's very detailed. Like it's it's really remarkable to see the detail and the. I feel like there's kiss marks all over Joker's face here. So does this similar in the price range with the Thanos?
Not quite, and it's mainly just because of the company.
Okay.
Because it's DC Direct, it's a little more expensive. But yeah, it is exceptionally detailed and yeah, again, I believe hand painted, so it's really kind of incredible. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, is there differences here? We see the I'm sure they're very very similar when it comes to looks, but. Does this one stand out that's a little different than the Thanos one, or with anything?
For the most part, not really. These are numbered, so this is, I think, 734 of 5200. Besides that, I mean, here's the thing: it's Harley and Joker, and they're very, they're such an iconic couple at this point. So it's just plus it's it's DC Bombshells, which is such a specific property, kind of a weird, just sort of like spin on most of the DC characters. It was a really unusual and cool idea. Really cool.
Now I see that they're both the Thanos and the Joker and Harley Quinn. They're very detailed.
Yes.
Now
so.
I would have to assume that they're similar in price?
They're actually not. You'd think it would be a little more, more inexpensive because it's actually so much smaller. But DC Direct tends to be a little more expensive.
Okay.
The details a little higher, and then they also have most statue companies do this.
Yeah.
But it's numbered on its base, so it's out of 5200. I think it's number 734 of 5200.
Oh.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now earlier we were talking about the success of Infinity War. The last time we saw these two was in Suicide Squad, and unfortunately that didn't get as popular, to say the least.
Yeah, it had surprises.
Now since then, has there been less Harley Quinn or Joker fans that come in, or has it really changed? Not changed at all?
Not really, and I got to tell you, it's mainly because it's Harley and Joker.
Yeah,
Harley and Joker. I feel like Harley and Joker really came into their own with the Batman animated series, and they've never gone back down in popularity. They've only just continued to rise. Both characters are sort of beloved at this point, even though they're villains.
Yeah, right.
So, but yeah.
And how much does a figurine like this?
This one is because it's part of the DC Bombshells. It's actually $250.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it really is. It's the overall just. I would have to say it's definitely worth the price. If you're a Harley Quinn or Joker or both fan, it's really worth checking out.
Yeah.
Warren, thank you so much for letting us come in here and sharing some of your awesome collectibles with us.
Absolutely.
For all the future customers out there who would love to come in and check some of your stuff out, where can they find you?
We're in Van Nuys. We're at 17306 Saticoy Street in Van Nuys. We're right on the corner of Saticoy and Louise, so you can't miss us. If you're on any of the corners of Saticoy and Louise, can't miss us. And you can find us, of course, on the web with galaxyofcomics.com or any of social media just under Galaxy of Comics.
All right. Well, there you have it, everyone. If you're interested and in the area, come check out Galaxy of Comics. You won't be disappointed. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We have more episodes to come. Until next time, goodbye.